Okay, Dylan's ready to help.
Sorry, you just had to get something hard.
Sure. Okay, does someone need help here? Okay, are we ready to go on? Okay. Okay, so I'd like you now to go and I'd like to add, okay, this is going to be for best practice, folks. So I'd like you to add an option list. What are option lists in AnyLogic used for? Sorry? Yeah, we use them for gender. And in general, what do? They provide us with a way of what? Okay, so kind of declaring named constants that are clear. They're very, very useful because if you denote things with strings, you can have messages that are denoted with strings, but it's easy to mistype that string, to capitalize it in one case, put it in lowercase in the other, to misspell it. And if you have it as an option list, the name of the message, you won't be making those silly mistakes without AnyLogic telling you. It'll tell you automatically if you've made a spelling mistake or if there's an inconsistency. So we're going to create an option list for messages, which is, as I say, a good practice. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I would like to create an option list. How are we going to create an option list here? Right-click here, do new option list. Okay, and I'd like to call it messages. Okay, so just on the whole, it's not in anything except the whole project. So you right-click on it, just like adding a new agent type. So you're going to right-click on the project as a whole and do new option list. It's as if you're adding an experiment or an agent type. It doesn't go in something, okay? And this is going to be called messages. And there's going to be two messages, cured and departed healthcare facility. Okay. By the way, I increased the font size, so I hope those in the back can see it a little bit better than yesterday.
Why do you use capital D on that screen rather than small?
For here?
Yes.
For the beginning?
Yeah.
It's one convention. It's not necessarily. I could easily hear it argued that it should be lowercase, and I would say that's a reasonable alternative convention. These are different possibilities amongst messages, and probably if I had my druthers, I'd make it lowercase. So, well, I mean, yeah, I feel torn about it. I mean, they're special types of things. They're not merely variables. They're not merely sort of standard variables, and so they're constants. They're constants. It's a sort of single thing, and so it distinguishes them a little bit. I don't feel strongly. I am spelling these things in what are called camel case, because AnyLogic, well, because Java does not allow spaces in names. So there's basically two ways that we deal with that. Either you use what's called camel case, where you capitalize the beginning of each word to sort of clearly indicate those words, or you can put underbars, the underscores between them, and either one of those is acceptable. I tend towards camel case, but I think in any case it's fine. Okay, so we just put those in there in messages, okay? Who needs TA help? Okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like to, for this return transition from seeking care to not seeking care, I'd like to make this contingent upon what? Receiving the message cured. Okay? With a capital C. That's one of the messages. By the way, if I mistyped that, it would say, I don't know what you mean. Whereas if it was only based on a string and I mistyped it, it wouldn't know. It would be silent but deadly. My model just wouldn't work. Here it will tell me, I don't understand what you mean, and that's better than having my model, I think the model's working and it's actually not.
Does it need to be in quotes?
No, it should not be in quotes.
Because the option, when it comes up,
Yeah, that's because by default it tries to send a string message that you're not sending a string.
You're not sending a string, right? Yeah, we're gonna be sending a different message. Okay. Okay. Build your model. Make sure it's hunky dory. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So are people? Yes.
Message type.
Yeah.
Should that be messages or should that be?
Where does the message? Oh, message type. That's a good question. Yes, make it messages. Yeah, that's a good point. It would work with it either way, but this is a little bit better. Nice call. Nice call. I've never done that before, but I didn't even know you could. But could specify that. But that's good. That helps enhance. That makes sure that when you send a message, you'll make sure it's one of well, in any case, it will have to do less work. It'll be a bit safer. Okay. Are we okay? Can we go on? Okay. So we just added this message as an option list.